Hello. So in the previous video, in the learning module 1 number 3, I believe, we were able to take a text from the user, allow the user to enter something on our app, and allow the user to click a button, and at the click of the button, whatever the user entered here will replace the label. We accomplish this by defining by utilizing the view controller files. It's a pair.h for header and .m for implementation. The purpose of the header is to define the properties which represent data and the actions which represent the behavior of the app or of this particular view, and the implementation file is to provide the instructions of how the behavior will be executed. For example, we defined a behavior called the display message. So in the implementation, so in the header, all what it says is there is an action called the display message that is connected to a button component on the user interface. In the implementation, you find an open curly brace like a module that has a beginning and that has an end. And inside you provide one or more instructions, which is a line that ends with a semicolon. The instruction can take many different formats, and we will learn about different types of instructions as we go through the course. But this instruction you see in front of you is two parts. First part is taking the text from the text message property, and second part assigning that text to the text of the label message property. These two properties, which are connected here, were defined as an outlet, which is a connection to a component where data can flow through that connection between the component and the memory of the device that is managed by that header file or that class, and so on. The app was working very well, and what was missing is when you type the message, the keyboard is not dismissed. We'll wait for the simulator to load. And here is how the app worked. We say have a nice day. Click on display. The message comes back, but the keyboard is not dismissed. So we would like to, we no longer need the keyboard, so the keyboard needs to go away. Let's think a little bit about how we can accomplish this. The keyboard, as you have noticed, came automatically once we opened the app. So you open the app, once we clicked on the text field. That's when the keyboard came. The keyboard is an independent component from the text field. However, the operating system knows that a keyboard needs to be attached to a text field, because the purpose of the text field is for the user to type something. So the keyboard comes up. In order for us to dismiss the keyboard, we need to let the operating system knows that the text field itself no longer needs the component. The text field is done using the keyboard. And then the operating system is the one that will really dismiss the keyboard. So to accomplish this, we need to call on the text field to inform the operating system that they no longer need that keyboard. So to do this, anytime you want to tell one of the components to do something, you accomplish this by providing an instruction. That instruction is in the form of a message format, which is a square bracket, the name of the component you want to send the message to, and what is the message. I'm starting a line with two slashes. Any line that starts with two slash like that and if you see it in your with green if you use the same color format, this is not an instruction, this is called a comment. So in this comment I'm telling myself what is this instruction is about, and this is a good practice to train yourself. Every time you write an instruction, you write a comment on why did you write that instruction. So here we want to send a message to the text field to resign from using the keyboard. So any message requires square brackets. The first thing is the name of the property or component that you want to send the message to. In our case is text message, which is this property. And you may wonder, where did we call this? And I would remind you, we called it when we made that connection. So see that connection that says the text field? The text field is connected to this property. What is the name of this property? Text message. So which means that anytime I want to send something to this, I can send it to this text message and it is connected to it directly. So text message. And what is the message that I can send? Well, you can search for it. You can click here, and the X code is an intelligent. I typed A, so it filtered all the different messages that I can use based on the letter A. But if I click the delete key and go back, the filter will expand to include all messages in all the letters. As you can see, there is quite a large number of messages that you can send. You can go through them one by one, type it. You see when I select one, two things happen. In gray on my in my editor, you see it give you what you need to type in for the message, and on the top here give you a description of the message is about, and you can click more to go for that message. In the beginning, similar to the components, you do not really know any of those, and nobody, well, you can sit down and go through all of those and learn about them, but you will learn from your instructor, you will learn from practice, you will learn from example, and you will learn from the books. And as you practice and increase your exposure to different problems and different types of behaviors and actions, you will collect your own, what I would call here, vocabulary or knowledge of those different components and the messages and what they do. Here, the message to for the text field to notify the operating system that it no longer wants to be a responder, because a responder is what caused the operating system to bring up the keyboard. So we want to say we're done being a responder. So select this, you can hit enter or you can double click. You can see here in gray it types it for you, and I would advise you not to try to type these things yourself. You will make mistakes, and this is case sensitive. So here is the message, and every instruction ends with a semicolon. So a message is between square brackets, has the name of the component or object or property that you're sending the message to, the name of the message. Some message requires some data, like the set text message. Some messages do not. At the end of your instruction, a semicolon is added. Let's try to run this and see if it accomplishes the task. Have a nice day. Display. The message changes and the keyboard dismissed. You can go back and you can see if I want to change the message, I had to delete all of them. One of the options, one of the attributes on the text field was to add a clear button, which will give you the X in the text field where you can click on it and the whole text field will be erased. This is a nice start. And what happened here, You see the three dot, meaning that you entered too many characters than the width that you specified for the label. So to address something like this, you select the label, and you can either increase the width of the label if you want, or you can change the number of lines. So I'll go back to the bring the utility area, click on the attribute inspector, and I will make 2 lines. Let's go back and see. This is a nice project display, and the label fits the width, and then since there are 2 lines, it starts the second line directly. You notice it is not showing all of it in the text field, but here is the app. This has all the features and all the expectations of project number 1. You can find the file that I created in the toolbox section. The expectation here is that this is a hands-on. Hands-on meaning that I'm holding your hand to walk you through how to create this project. For this particular project, there was also documentation on the Apple developer website. You can see a link in the weekly module. But I am not expecting you, or you are expected, as I'm holding your hand, you're expected to walk with me. So you are seeing this video, building your own application, making your own signature, and guided by what I am providing for you. You should not really download my files and submit it to me as the first project. You need to create your own, and you need to have your own exploration of the different properties and the different things and attributes and controls that you can use. Again, if you have any questions, there's a link on Blackboard called the questions. Click here. Feel free to ask any questions or send me an email. Thank you, and we will, I think that completes all the videos for module number 1, and I look forward to receiving communications from you. Thank you.